Okay guys, so I wanted to show you a couple things I got here for the 3900 swap. Picked myself up a camshaft, picked up some pack 12-18 springs, and some steel retainers and steel keepers. So here are the specs on the cam. Kind of show this to you here. So you got your lift on the cam at 330 and 347, so of course you're going to multiply that by your rocker ratio. Now on the 3.9 liter and the 3.5 liter Lz4 you have a 1.7 rocker arm ratio, so multiply by 1.7. so if you have a 1.5 rocker arm, you're going to have a 495 520 lift. So the duration on the cam is 218 on the intake and 236 on the exhaust. So I kind of spec this cam to kind of mimic some aftermarket turbo cams that I saw for Ls1s. So granted, the bore on the 3.9 and the 3.5 are 99 millimeter, which is a Ls1 bore, but the stroke is a little bit less. But you know, per cylinder, it's pretty close to an Ls1 as far as displacement goes per cylinder. So I got a camshaft that kind of mimics an Ls1 style camshaft. So it has a 1/16 LSA, and so there are the cam specs. So there's the cam, and of course the associated bits that go along with it. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you is that I have the old camshaft that was in the Lx9 for sale. I'll go ahead and put the specs of this camshaft in the description of the video here, so feel free to check that out. Also, if you want to run this type of camshaft for a 3400 or a 3500 Lx9 cam, in the LZ based engines, you're going to need to run these cam bearing spacers. Now I had these made up. I can make up more if need be, but what they are is the camshaft journals on the Lx9 and the previous engines all have smaller cams. So you have to put a spacer in the LZ block, and then you can use a factory camshaft bearing for an Lx9. So what you do is you insert the cam bearing into this sleeve, and then you press the sleeve and the bearing into the block. So of course you just line up the holes, you know. So here's number 4, of course, so that would be number 4. I don't think I have all these numbered, but I had these made up, and I can make up more. So if you plan on running an LZ engine and, you know, maybe a Fiero or a Cavalier or a Sunbird that had the old V6 setup, if you want to install an LZ engine in those and you want to ditch the VVT, you can order these cam bearing spacers from me. They just press into the block like a cam bearing, and then you can run this style of camshaft with any aftermarket cam really that you can order. So you know, hit me up if you're interested in these. We can work out a price. You know, I'm pretty negotiable on it. So but that's kind of what I wanted to show you today. So just a couple of parts I got in, the camshaft bearings, and like I said, this camshaft is for sale. So thank you guys. Stay tuned for future videos.